Some of the things Donald Trump is saying right now are showing that he is a serious threat to women.
Along with his intentions, there is also a question of his competence. He held a town hall meeting.
Dude, he's a mess.
Where he called himself the father of IVF. I do not know what that means. You do not either.
That IVF comment in particular, really something important we got to talk about, because every woman in America needs to be aware of what's going on with the man. Trump has been underwater with women, obviously overturning Roe v. Wade, taking away rights to their bodily autonomy. Many states have an abortion ban. Now those same states, it's not enough for them to even ban abortion in the state. They want to prosecute women for what they do in other states. Just truly unprecedented. That's why even though Trump is backpedaling like mad from the abortion issue, trying to say he won't sign a national abortion ban, we all know he's a liar. Everyone backing him is after a national abortion ban. They've already started dangling other ideas like terminating IVF, going after birth control, outlawing mifepristone. It's this talk about IVF. He is just an incredible danger to women. And I mean, it is bad. Dude, and him being the father of IVF, like that IVF comment was so crazy because first off, if you look at the context of that IVF comment, Trump goes in and says he got a call from Katie Britt about IVF. So the first thing we find out about Trump is that he admits that he was president and he did not actually know what IVF was until Katie Britt called him a couple of months ago. So he was actually president who stacked the Supreme Court with people that have taken away women's right to their wombs without even knowing what in vitro fertilization was. That's how incompetent and dangerous he is, that he would affect national women's human rights without even understanding how what he's affecting is going to impact IVF. He didn't know what it was. And then afterwards, he says he's the father of IVF. And this is something he just found out about.
Oh, I want to talk about IVF. I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question.
Yeah. Hi, President Trump.
Hi.
Welcome back to Georgia. We are so happy that you're here. We're all very blessed to be here with you, and thank you for taking our questions. So I'm the mother of 3 small children, and I have many friends that have struggled with fertility issues over the years while trying to grow their families. And while they're pro-life, they're very concerned that the abortion bans will affect their ability to access IVF and other fertility treatments. So although abortion does lie with the states, what is your stance on that, and what would you say to those women?
So I got a call from Katie Britt, a young, just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator.
Dude, what a weirdo.
And she called me up like emergency.
He had to throw in that she's attractive, right? Fantastically attractive person. Like, what a fucking weirdo.
And she called me up like emergency. Because an Alabama judge had ruled that the IVF clinics were illegal and they have to be closed down. A judge ruled. And she said, friends of mine came up to me and they were so angry. I didn't even know they were going, it's fertilization. I didn't know they were even involved in it. Nobody talks about it. They don't talk about it. But now that they can't do it, she said, I was attacked. In a certain way, I was attacked. And I said, explain IVF very quickly. And within about 2 minutes, I understood it. I said, no, we're totally in favor of IVF. I came out with a statement within an hour, a really powerful statement with some experts, really powerful. And we went totally in favor. The Republican Party, the whole party, Alabama legislature, a day later overturned, meaning approved it, overturned, the judge essentially approved it. And we really are the party for IVF. We want fertilization, and it's all the way. And the Democrats tried to attack us on it, and we're out there on IVF even more than them. So we're totally in favor of it.
I mean, this was obviously one of the most notable, if not bizarre, moments of that town hall.
Dude, so bizarre.
I do want to read some of the quote for you just so you get a sense of it, and then I'll break down what I'm hearing from my conversations with Trump's top advisors. So he said, quote, "I'm the father of IVF." It went on to say, "We really are the party for IVF. We want fertilization, and it's all the way. And the Democrats tried to attack us on it, and we're out there on IVF, even more than them. So we're totally in favor."
What
Again,
are those comments?
Pretty bizarre statement. When I asked him directly about what does he mean by saying I am the father of IVF, I didn't really get a lot back. But I will tell you that more broadly speaking, Donald Trump believes, and I've heard this in my recent conversations, but I've also known this from covering him on this issue for the last several months, he believes that he set the tone for the Republican Party on this issue. I'd remind you, back in February, we know that the Alabama Supreme Court then had made a ruling, life began when they are embryos, when children are embryos.
Dude,
that was a ruling that the Alabama Supreme Court did. That had led a lot of hospitals
doesn't even know what it is
to pause IVF treatments. Donald Trump came out quickly on that, saying, we are the party of IVF, I support IVF, and a lot of Republican officials followed suit. This is something I can tell you, Dana, that Donald Trump consistently brags about. When he's asked about women voters, about why he doesn't think that he is doing so well with them, this is one of the issues that he points to. I think that's why he really tried to focus on this last night. I mean, this came up because he was told, Harris Faulkner told him, that one of the questions from the audience was about this issue. And he said, I love IVF. I'm the father of IVF. Again, a bizarre statement to make. I would also note that, of course, one of the reasons that this is even a question right now, is because of him. IVF, is because of the Supreme Court justices that he had put on the bench and the Dobbs ruling that has called a lot of this into question. But take a step back and give you a broader sense of why he did this town hall at all. I think it's notable given we have not seen Donald Trump speak before an all-female audience this cycle. They are really trying to narrow that gender gap. It is a huge concern for the Trump campaign. And I will tell you as well that when I talk to Donald Trump's top advisors, they acknowledge that a lot of women do not like Trump the man. They do not like his rhetoric.
Disgusting.
But they think that they could maybe win them over by talking about the issues.
I don't know how that's possible.
That Donald Trump thinks
how they can win women over when they took away Roe v. Wade. Like, how are women? How are women voting for him? Dude, there's just no way. Like, it does not make sense to me how any women could be voting for Donald Trump.
Hi, everybody.
Right? He's rapey.
I'm gonna just.
He's a sexual abuser. He's taking away women's rights. Like, dude.
You would be worried. He said January 6th was a day of love.
Dude, he is a scumbag, dude. He is, dude. Vote. Trump is. In every possible way, dude.
It made January 6th sound like it was Woodstock. You would be worried if your grandpa was acting like this. No, I'm not joking. You would, right? You would. You'd call up your cousins and you say, have you noticed? So imagine it coming from a guy who wants to be given unchecked power. Tucson, we do not need to see what an older, loonier Donald Trump looks like with no guardrails.
Yeah, I agree.
We have had enough of arrogance and bumbling and bluster and division. America's ready to turn the page. We're ready for a better story. We are ready for a president, Kamala Harris.
Let's go! He's trying to build this narrative, right? Because what did he do to women? He took away their rights. They're bleeding out in parking lots, okay? They're coming after birth control. They were coming after IVF. So Donald Trump is trying to say, no, I'm the only guy who can protect you. That's his thing. They're gonna murder you. Everybody in the South. There's no abortion legal states down there. A lot of women down there are like, God damn, bro. We could bleed out in the parking lot thanks to Donald Trump. Thanks to that guy who smears bronzer on his face like you would smear hemorrhoidal cream on your asshole, right? That's what Donnie does. He's like a giant hemorrhoid, putting some brown preparation H on it. You know? Jesus. Dude, they want a dictator, though. Like, the women in this room, The zealot Christian women, they want a dictator. The evangelical Christians, they want a dictator. That's what their religion is. Their religion is a dictator. They call him God. And so they want a dictator as long as that dictator is executing the laws and will of God. That's what they want. They literally would not care. Those evangelical freaks would not care if we had an authoritarian government as long as it was a Christian authoritarian government. They would not care. And then they would weaponize that Christian authoritarian government to put people in jail or force people to submit the same way that the Islamic Sharia governments work, over in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying?